Hello, if you've been here before, welcome back. If not, hi, my name is David. I make videos talking about media that I want to talk about. I'm joined today by
Matthew.
and my boyfriend because we are doing the monthly wrap-up of the movies that we watched in January of 2026. I wanted to start talking about movies that I watch in this year because I want to get into the film industry, so I want to watch even more movies. And I made a movie journal over here where I'm recording the movies that I watched and stuff like that. And yeah, we're just going to talk about it in the month of January because all the movies I watch are with Matthew anyway, so might as well talk about it with him. And this month we watched 7 movies in total, and it came out to my average rating of 4.1 out of 5. And the most genre we watched was horror, with like 3 to 4 movies, depending on how you see it.
One of them was definitely a horror movie to me when I was like 10.
Yeah. So the first movie we watched was Hamnet, which came out in 2025, directed by Chloe Zhao. I gave it a 4.75 out of 5. It's about William Shakespeare and his wife, who had children, and it's about the death of the son Hamnet, which inspires the movie, the play
Mhm.
of Hamlet. What do you think about it?
It was really good. It was sad.
Yeah.
Like, there's no other way of like going into this movie without knowing that like it's gonna be sad.
It's about a dead kid.
It's about a dead kid, but more importantly, it's more about like being a grieving mother. But then also kind of being a grieving father, except for it's not as like touched upon until the final scene. Really,
Yes, that final scene was amazing.
it was so good.
It was so
It was
good.
so good.
The main actress for Agnes, it was her name, right?
It was Agnes, but they kept saying Agnes.
Agnes.
Yeah,
Jessie Buckley won a handful of awards already for her performance, and she's like definitely in the running for best actress in the Oscars. Yeah, I mean, her performance was absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved the music by Max Richter. I don't know how to say, Richter, I believe. He's pretty famous, and they used one of his pretty famous songs at the very end of the movie for that last scene. If you know, you know. And so I really love Hamlet, and I haven't consumed that much other Shakespeare, but you definitely noticed a lot of other Shakespeare
yes, yeah.
references in there. I mean, I noticed the Romeo and Juliet, and I believe there was there a Macbeth?
Yeah, so there was Macbeth when the little kids. So when Shakespeare comes back home one day, his 3 kids, they come together and they recite the witches.
Oh
speech.
yes, yep.
They reference Twelfth Night in it. They reference honestly, where's did they reference the bear?
The bear?
Yeah, there's I think it's in the Winter's Tale.
Oh,
where it's there's a line that says "exit left, pursued by bear."
that's an oh yeah. But it definitely felt like a what?
They should put a bear in there. Leonardo DiCaprio, where you at?
Okay, it was definitely a love letter to the to Shakespeare in and of itself. And his works, and I was really happy with that. The screenplay was written by I have it written down in my movie journal. The screenplay was written by the author of the book, as it's a adaptation of the book Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell, and so this movie was written by Maggie O'Farrell and the director Chloe Zhao. Also, Chloe Zhao directed Eternals, Marvel.
Oh,
And some other movie that I really liked that is underrated. I forget exactly. But yeah. And so for every movie that we talk about, that we watch, we got let me get the book.
yeah, wow.
So we found this huge sticker book
Yeah,
of all the Pokemon.
got it at like Michael's, right?
Yeah, we got it at Michael's. It was like $20, or 20. Yeah, it was $20, and it has all of the. Hold my microphone. Has all of the Pokemon here. So we decided to. Well, I decided. We don't really have that much use of stickers, but we wanted to have it. So let's find a Pokemon for every movie and connect it. And so for Hamnet, we chose Marowak because it's the ground type final evolution because it's the mother because the focus of the movie is the mother.
So a lot of Pokemon fans know about Cubone and the event that happens with Cubone in the original games, which is trying to find Cubone's dead mother and help Cubone move on. While having it be about Marowak feels very apt, where it's instead of a child grieving their parent, it is a parent grieving their child.
The next movie that we watched is Together, directed by Michael Schenk. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. So it's about Alison Brie and Dave Franco's characters who move in together into a secluded house in like the forests.
Mm-hmm.
Was it in the Pacific Northwest?
I kind of have what's it called? A speculation that's in the Pacific Northwest,
right?
Just because a lot of the license plates of the cars all have Washington. It's either Washington or Oregon plates.
Yeah,
and
which is significant because Matthew's
from the Pacific Northwest. Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, is this in the Pacific Northwest? And as the movie keeps going, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah, and so it's about their characters. They stumble upon this strange supernatural cave that suddenly makes them start fusing together. This is also another horror. Was it Hamnet was, I would say, drama?
It's a drama. It's definitely a tragedy.
What did I mark it as? I marked it as historical fiction. Together was a horror, and which came out in 2025. And I thought it was so fun. It was so good. The body horror elements were so well made, and it was so
yeah.
It was crazy. I remember seeing a lot of buzz about it when it first came out, and then I didn't see anyone talk about it. I'm like, what? Why? This is so good.
Yeah, So when when we were watching this, I just stand up and walk around because it made me so uncomfortable, but in a good way.
Yeah,
it was so good. It made me feel so uncomfortable because not only is there the body horror aspect, there's the fact that these guys are in a bad relationship or heading towards a bad place in their relationship due to the fact that they are being controlled by some otherworldly substance.
Yeah,
I guess.
And I liked how it felt very. It wasn't connected to any sort of like religion or like established religion.
Yeah,
it wasn't connected to any established religion, and it felt very unique in the lore and stuff like that. It felt eldritch, which
it felt eldritch. It really did. Yeah,
a lot of the good things that I like about eldritch is not connected to Christianity or any other religions that have like supernatural stuff, ghosts, demons, and stuff like that. And so when you do something very unique, you can do a lot with it. And the iconography used was also really fun as well. And the Pokemon that we chose was Azwalius, which is the second evolution of the Hydreigon line.
Hydreigon.
Azwalius because it is two Pokemon heads connected in one, and they're sort of like fused together, and they have their own personalities. And Alison Brie and Dave Franco were definitely fused together.
Yes. This movie was about how fusion is a cheap tactic to make weak relationships stronger. Do you think that we can find someone who's a James Franco impersonator to sing all of Stronger Than You?
The next movie we watched was A Strange Harvest, which came out in 2024, directed by Stuart Ortiz. I gave it a 3.6 out of 5. This is a horror movie about, it's sort of like a mockumentary. No, it's not sort of. It is a mockumentary of these two detectives who are trying to solve a murder of the serial killer who's killing a bunch of people. And we soon find out that he is killing these people to summon an eldritch deity that he can control. This is also a horror. I liked it more than you did.
Yeah, this movie was bad. like, there's so much about the movie where like it being a mockumentary is what held it back for me, and essentially,
I get it.
I think that if it was like there was a movie that I talked about how like we talked about The Bay.
The Bay.
We talked about The Bay. The Bay worked because it was all about a thing that actually happened. Like we do see it happen, and it's really hard. It is hard to watch in a good way because it's horror, but like you're like, oh wow, this is crazy that this happened, that this thing happened. But in this movie, we never really see the thing happen. Like you kind of see it towards the end. You see it fail, but it feels so. I don't feel the payoff.
It doesn't focus on what the killer wants. It just focuses on trying to find him and the things that he does. And so it's heavily alluded to, but it's not paid off well. There was like I liked a little bit more because I have consumed a bit more of cosmic horror, eldritch horror stuff, and so I could recognize the tropes there. But I do feel like the mockumentary, documentary style and the cosmic horror genre, I wouldn't say it doesn't mix well, but I would say that in this movie it wasn't executed that well.
It would have been very interesting to see this as a mockumentary, but more of less of like people trying to talk about a serial killing and more something like remember in VHS the woman who she's doing a documentary of her finding the aliens, and she goes onto alien ship.
Oh, like in the point of view of the serial killer himself.
If it was that, or like you are finding a person who's not connected to the government.
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of mockumentaries would be just like the investigator themselves as a director or whatever, and not involving the police. I think the police point of view,
it just showed how inept they are.
Yeah, it showed them how inept they are, but I think it was necessary because it gave more information than someone who was not part of the investigation would have been privy to. But I think it could have easily been said that this happened already, and then this investigator just uncovered this investigation, or it was unclassified or something like that. But I do think that the cops, the acting as well was not that good for me. I didn't really like there was two main actors, the two main cops. The male actor I didn't quite like, and the female actress, she did pretty good at the beginning, but then became pretty one note as we kept going through. But I did like that, as far as I can tell, as far as I've heard, the eldritch horror aspect was unique to this movie as well. It hasn't it looked new.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
I will say that the end credit scene did piss me off a little bit too.
Yeah. They just want to do end credit scene because end credit scenes are cool.
Yeah.
The Pokemon that we chose. The Pokemon that we chose was Dottler, which I'm not familiar with, unfortunately, because it's a Galar game. It's a Galar Pokemon. I haven't played Galar, but it's is it just Bug? Let me pull up the book.
I know that the end. I'm pretty sure the end evolution of Dottler, which I'm also forgetting, is Bug Psychic. Do not quote me on that. I guess we will find out soon. But it has to do it is Bug Psychic.
They're all Bug Psychic. It starts with Blipbug is just Bug. Often found in gardens, this Pokemon has hairs on its body that it uses to assess its surroundings. And Dottler, which is the second evolution, is Bug Psychic. And then Orbeetle, which is also Bug Psychic. And then it Gigantamaxes in a special way. Its brain has grown to a gargantuan size, as has the result of its rest of its body. This Pokemon's intellect and psychic abilities are overpowering. So like we were looking for like alien type things, because this was dealing with an eldritch being that was sort of alien. You can see in the poster the 3 dots. I won't spoil what it is, but it's definitely cosmic in its conception.
There are a few alien Pokemon. There's like LGM, Behem, but those didn't feel right because they just are an alien, and having Dollar feels right because it's like, you know, they're searching for the killer. Dollar is searching for aliens.
Yeah.
It felt right.
This is for your information what Orbeetle looks like in its Gigantamax form. I wanted to my plan to watch more movies. I set a goal for myself to watch 4 movies a month. I'm already hit that goal this month at least. But I have a long list of movies that I want to watch on my watch list on Letterboxd. My Letterboxd is in my description below if you want to follow me there. And so I wanted to do at least one movie in theaters, which we did with Hamnet, and then one movie that we just wanted to watch, 1 or 2 movies that we wanted to watch that was Together in Strange Harvest, and then I wanted to do like a randomized movie from my watch list to get a more variety in there, because these are movies that I read about in my film history class and other sources. I was just, oh, this movie looks good, I'm just going to add it to my list. People have talked about it. Some of them are famous. What?
Oh, do you?
No. The next time that we were going to watch a movie, I had Matthew pull up my Letterboxd and pick a random. And if you know Letterboxd, it shows like 4 movies each row. And so I just had him do a randomize and pick of the top 4 on that list which one he wanted to do. And so the next movie we watched was a random. And so then, stop laughing. Stop laughing. Stop laughing.
You Lucas. No. Gotta cut that out. You'll get demonetized for that.
So the next movie that we watched was a random pull from my Letterboxd watch list, and that was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, directed by Robert Wien, which came out in 1920. This is a movie famous for I don't know if it established the German Expressionism art movement, but it was definitely a big aspect of it. And it was right after the end of the First World War, and Germany is dealing with, hey, we just lost this war. And at the same time that fascism is starting to grow, intellectuals and artists are trying to find a way to express their anxiety about the current state of the time, and that brought about German Expressionism, which is, if I believe, I'm trying to remember my film and art history, use of shadows and oblique architecture. Oblique architecture.
God, I hope you remember that word.
To express emotions of the characters and psychological issues as well. So Dr. Caligari is about a fair that comes to this town. Was the town named? I don't remember. It doesn't matter. And there was...
it's probably Italian, so it doesn't matter.
That's true. There is this performer, Dr. Caligari, who has this somnambulist, something like that. Sleepwalker, that he uses to kill people. And I gave this movie a 3.6 out of 5. I was falling asleep. Like towards the end, but mostly because I was just tired. I was after work.
It was
like that.
It was at nighttime that we watched it.
Yeah. So. But I thought it was fine. I thought it's important for German Expressionism, so good. What'd you think?
I really like the sets. The sets were good, beautiful sets, great sets, great sets.
Yeah.
But no, I really liked it because coming from an architecture background, I would look at how they would build the sets and be like, okay, this shows off Expressionism because of X, Y, and Z. Like, for example, there's a scene when they are going through the town, and they built the sets to make it feel very imposing. Like all the corners seem very sharp. It's a little spooky in there, and it's on purpose. I don't want to go too much into spoilers, but there was a lot of times I was watching this where I'm like, I wonder if this piece of media is based off of Caligari.
Yeah.
Also, that being said, if you ever read the Series of Unfortunate Events, this is the Caligari that's based off of the Carnival Caligari.
Yeah, I never read any of that, but definitely this movie inspired a lot of different horror. This is labeled in what's it called in Letterboxd as a thriller or psychological thriller, and I'm like, all right,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
at that point
scary, but it's I don't feel like I don't feel the suspense as in like so I don't know what's gonna happen. I kind of know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
it's just like you feel the suspense.
Yeah, the Pokemon that we chose was a Drowsy, psychic type. That's all about being sleepy and stuff like that. I didn't want to go Hypno because I wanted to save Hypno for like a slightly better movie. I would say, unfortunately, yeah. But Drowsy definitely feels very. I was also falling asleep during the movie, but mostly because I was tired. But it was we watched it on Tubi, and it was
Love Tubi.
Love Tubi.
Love Tubi.
And because in silent films they add like a backing track to it, and the backing track this one was weird. It was weird, but not in a good weird either. It was just kind of there. But yeah, Drowsy. Do you have anything to say about Drowsy?
I didn't want to do Hypno 2 because Hypno is so close to like if I were to do something with Hypno, it would be like weapons. Yeah. Because there's so much importance on children. And if you know the lore of Hypno, when I go into these movies now, I will say this: I am not focusing on the stats that David is. I'm like, okay, what Pokemon would this movie be? And I'm like, okay, it's dreams, sleepwalking, and I was like, oh, maybe like Muna or Musharna, but they're too happy.
They feel more feminine. They feel more queer.
And this is a super straight movie, obviously. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about. There are two characters that are kind of like, history would say they're best friends.
Oh yeah,
quote unquote.
Yeah,
but
anyway, I didn't want to do Muna and Musharna not because they're feminine or queer. It's more because they embody more of like the positive aspects of things.
Yeah.
They're both Drowsy and Muna are based off of those lines are both based off of the Baku, the Japanese Baku, which are these yokai that eat dreams. But some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of them will eat only the bad dreams, and some of them will only eat good dreams. It's a whole thing. This is my reminder, letting you know, play Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. And also Dual Hearts.
That too. The next movie that we watched was also a random pull from my watch list, and that was Moulin Rouge, directed by Baz Luhrmann, which came out in 2001.
Love this movie.
It's about Ewan McGregor and my God, what's her name?
I almost say
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah,
Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman is a performer in the Moulin Rouge, and she meets Ewan McGregor, who is a writer who's trying to work there, and they fall in love with each other, and this starts this incredible drama, tragedy, etc. And it's also, is it the beatbox? No, that's not the name. Jukebox.
The beatbox. You got Nicole Kidman going.
Is this movie the jukebox musical, or was there others beforehand? Because I'm thinking, to me, Mamma Mia was the jukebox musical that made it good. Because this was a 3.4 out of 5 for me. I did not like.
Yeah, there's a reason why this movie is like the guilty pleasure movie for most people. It has a story structure. It's there. It's just all the fluff around it kind of like distracts you from like how loose the story is, or at least loose the plot is, how it could be better. I would say that Mamma Mia was the jukebox musical, but it didn't like popularize it because nobody liked ABBA in America. But it's definitely the one that like popularized the jukebox musical. I really did hate watching this musical because the entire time I watched this, I was like, wow, this really was pregnant with glee.
This movie was talked about in my film history class for some reason. It was talking about 90s movies in what?
This from Hollywood, because it was about the Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it was. It talked about in my film history about Australian cinema, and how in the 90s, and how like there's 3 different directors. I forget one. Who was a woman. I'm so sorry, women. What other one's Peter Jackson, was talking about Lord of the Rings, and then Baz Luhrmann, and the woman director, I forget her name. I'm so sorry. Kate Spiegel. No.
He also has this little tail. David, for editing, put Meow Wow on here.
What do you say?
Nothing. You'll find out.
I'll see it in the edit. This is my film history book, and there's a lot of movies here that I sounded interesting that I added to my watch list.
Fucking gremlin?
It was a gremlin, yes. Jane Champion. I'm so sorry, Jane Champion. Who the fuck is Kate Spiegel? Jane Champion. It talked about Jane Champion, Baz Luhrmann, and Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, obviously the director of Lord of the Rings. Jane Champion made toned down serious movies, and so she was the comparison to Baz Luhrmann, or Baz Luhrmann was a comparison, this juxtaposition between both directors. Hers was more toned down, talked about femininity, talked about women's right, while Baz Luhrmann focused on spectacle and performance. And it talked about his movie Romeo plus Juliet, another mention of what's his face, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
But then it talked about Moulin Rouge augments the influence of Asian cinema and how Asian cinema influenced the current modern day spectacle as well. Talking about Bollywood musicals and stuff like that. And so that's why I had this on my watch list. Also, it was either that's why it was on my watch list, or because of Moulin Rouge, the parody musical from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 14.
Which you made me watch.
Which I made him watch. Which is the episode that Lady Camden won playing, I forget the character's name, but she was basically playing the Jim Broadbent character. And then Bosco was Saltine, because the character is Satine here. She was playing Saltine, and then that's specifically the episode important because Georges was Talent. She was also in the bottom. Bosco
turning into a drag race.
Yes. This episode's also important because Bosco and Georges are in the bottom two. Georges beats Bosco in lip sync. Bosco, this is the same season that had the chocolate twist.
Yeah.
And she opened her chocolate and it was not chocolate, so she was saved from elimination. It's not chocolate.
Is this season ever going to end?
Yes. Anyways, Moulin Rouge. I didn't quite enjoy it. I think the plot was pretty good. I just did not like the jukebox musical aspect of it. And oh my god, it's a musical, and I didn't like the musical part. I love musicals. Okay, I like musicals a lot. Hadestown, Legally Blonde, and Firestarter, the top 3 musicals I can think of right now. What are your top 3 musicals? Quickly.
I would have to say it's. This is really bad. You're asking a theater kid what your favorite musical is. I gotta say I love. This is my guilty pleasure. I do like BMO Chill. Man, I can't get away from Les Mis. It's just good. Hello, Dolly.
Hello, Dolly was really good.
Hello, Dolly's really good.
Yeah, right. He made me watch Hello, Dolly. It was really good. But anyways, yeah, I didn't quite like the music of this musical. But just like a personal thing, I think they worked well with what it wanted to do. Oh my god, the editing, hated it. Because I'm trying to learn a little bit more about editing and stuff. I think that the editing here was a little too choppy and a little too quick and it was definitely very stylized. And I get what it was wanting to do. As it kept going, I understood it. I understood what it was trying to do. I just didn't like it. And it made me feel disoriented in a bad way. It maybe wanted you to feel disoriented, but I just didn't enjoy that aspect. And so I was like, okay, I get it, don't like it. But yeah, the Pokemon that we chose was Miloetta, specifically the Pirouette form. Because...
Well, one, it's because Moulin Rouge, red.
Yeah.
It's a musical. It's a musical. It's like one of the famous movie musicals. So it's kind of like we need to put a musical Pokemon in there, and we can't do this to Quickatune.
No.
But like Miloetta feels also right because the main character is a woman.
Satine.
I think the entire movie is around Satine, and also Pirouette kind of has the same dress as kind of a can dancer.
Yes.
Compared to Miloetta in its aria form. There's a lot more a little bit more bigger dance numbers in this. and which what people like about it more than like the singing aspect of it. Not that they're bad singers, it's just come on, the big dance numbers are really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, was it Roxanne? Everyone talks about Roxanne.
When we were watching the Moulin Rouge parody, because I watched the parody before I watched the movie, and so I was like, "What is this aspect? Oh, it's that aspect in the movie." And there was one part in the parody that I was like, "What is this?" And then he was like, "Oh, it's Roxanne." I'm like, "Oh, right." Right.
Yeah.
Anyways, and the last movie we did a double feature, so I'm going to count them together. I'm going to talk about them together because they're both from Studio Ghibli, and that's Kiki's Delivery Service, which came out in 1989, and Spirited Away, which came out in 2001. You had already seen Kiki's, but it was the first time you saw Spirited Away. I had already seen both of them, so it was a rewatch for me. Both directed by Hayao Miyazaki. It was a double feature, which is really fun. So Kiki's is about Kiki, who is a new witch who is learning to be a witch, and she has to go on her 1 year travel, right?
It's
training.
1 year training.
1 year training, and she goes to this. Was it Italian-esque? Tell me about that.
It is. Tell me. Yeah, it was. It's definitely an Italian town. They're in Italy. I don't know if she is from Italy, but it didn't seem that far away from her house.
European.
But it's definitely Italian.
Yeah. And then Spirited Away is about a young girl, Chihiro, whose parents get transformed into pigs, and she finds herself in a spirit world, and she has to work in a spirit bathhouse to try to find a way to save her parents. And that was new for you. Kiki's, I mean, I liked both of them. I think I liked Kiki's more. It felt more grounded, but also more. I don't want to say more real because Spirited Away was very like imaginative, but definitely felt more like a story you could like read about. You know what I mean? While Spirited Away felt very unique and personal to Hayao Miyazaki, and there was a lot of intention behind it. While Kiki's felt very general, but both are really good. Both do different things very well.
I kind of feel the opposite in that
Really?
sense. Yes. Well, one, I haven't watched Spirited Away until now because when I was a kid, I watched it like on Cartoon Network once, and I watched the parents get turned to pigs, and I turned off the TV, and I was like, oh nope, not doing this ever again. But like Kiki's, to me, it felt more personable because of the trials and tribulations she goes through. It is very much a coming of age story, but it doesn't feel like, because it has a hint of the fantastical to it. It doesn't feel as I don't want to say annoying. It doesn't have the same.
I know, I agree. Like coming of age stories, personally, I don't quite enjoy because they're a little annoying. But most of the time with coming of age stories, my issue is with the interactions with other children that are coming of age. While here, Kiki only had like one interaction with like one main other child, Tambo.
His name is Tombo.
And then like adjacent connections here and there, but mostly it was connections with adults or older characters, and so it definitely felt like it wasn't trying to be that sort. Like I don't like coming of age stories like in a high school or something like that, or in elementary school, and that's what kind of gets annoying sometimes. And like what you're talking about, like the usual coming of age things can get kind of annoying, but here there wasn't that aspect.
And like if people who are like really big into Hayao Miyazaki films, you probably watched enough video essays about Kiki's where like, a lot of it is about being burnt out, pursuing your passions, and then finding out like, is this what I want to do? And then also like, there's a lot of mentorship in this. And I think that's one of the things that's really nice compared to a lot of other coming of age stories where some of them don't have a good mentor, or like there's only one mentor character and they're probably going to get killed. Let's be honest here.
Yeah. I think that I really enjoyed Kiki's. I just felt like I needed more of the witch stuff. because it was just about her flying, which is great. Her flying was implemented well within the plot, but I feel like I would have wanted a bit more of, her mother was doing potions and stuff like that. Maybe she could have done small moments here and there, like, oh, I try to remember to do this thing to charm the crows to get my the thing back, or doing this thing to stop the rain from falling on me, or whatever. Small little moments here and there of her trying to do some sort of magic, and it doesn't have to be focused on other types of magic and still be focused on her flying. But I wanted more of that aspect to her. It feels more like a witch thing, more stuff, more history there. And that would just make it feel a little bit more fantastical to me than just the flying. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree on that, because there's a part in the movie where when Kiki's about to leave, they're like, oh, why don't you make your own broom when you get there? And she starts doing it, and then she can't finish due to stuff that happens in the movie. But that would have been a really fun way to like bring
Dive
the witchcraft a little bit more, about like maybe her broom would have been stronger because she made it herself.
And then once we finished that, we went to Publix, got some food, came back and watched Spirited Away, which was your first time.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fun, but it was definitely like a lot was happening.
There's a lot happening. So the movie is based off of Alice in Wonderland. And when because I knew about that and watching this, I was like, okay, this character is this character in Alice in Wonderland. This character is in this character. There's a lot of combinations of characters too, which I do enjoy, because it does make it feel less like a allegory, like a one-to-one allegory, and more like this character reinterpretations. Yes. One thing that's really fun for me, because unfortunately for David, I was a huge weeb growing up. There's a lot of like Japanese folklore that isn't like outright stated, but as I was watching, I was like, oh, this is like a kappa. This is this kind of spirit.
Yeah. It's like I don't have that like information, but it's still like really cool to see all of that. But like having that knowledge, you get a little bit more into it, understanding as to what it's trying to do and stuff like that. So that that helped you.
Yeah. The movie itself, I don't want to say like I hated it, but I will say I felt like it was overhyped. There was a lot of times where people were like, oh, I want to love like Haku and Chihiro, but they don't really interact.
Children.
They're children.
Yeah.
That's a child.
That's a child. They're friends.
They're friends for the most part. The only thing that I wish that they had in the movie was a connection to the realization at the final act.
Yes.
Because the realization comes kind of out of nowhere. It's hinted at throughout the film whenever Chihiro interacts with water, but it's never in a.
It felt ham-fisted.
It felt ham-fisted in there.
I think that the movie is at its best in the center, in the middle part.
Yeah.
In
it's so good in the middle.
The beginning and ends are kind of weak for me, and I think that there was a really strong like midpoint of the movie in the bathhouse and dealing with the spirits and stuff like that.
I wish there was more spirits.
Me too. I wish there was
more spirits.
I wish spirits did stuff. Because not only did we had the radish spirit, we had the no name, but I wish there was more hijinks with other spirits.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
If one thing I wish that they had with this movie is that they had like one more scene with the spirit. There's a lot more like grotesque spirits.
Yeah.
That exist in folklore, or like a lot more sad spirits. There's a lot of sad yokai in Japanese mythology. It would have been fun to touch upon that aspect.
I think if a spirit was a character, because most of the time the spirits in the movie were just side characters or set dressing, and I think a spirit having like an actual character, lines, and story arc would have helped with that, because we got No Name to have like as a sort of like a character arc there, but he wasn't that much of a character, more of an obstacle and antagonist, and then an ally. But I wish there was a character like Susan Egan's character.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't remember her character's name, but I know it's Susan Egan, not being Meg.
I really like the what's the name of the guy with the spider arms? He was an interesting character. He was a character that had a character arc, you know. And I wanted at least one more person that was not the main character that was an ally, you know, and that would have fleshed out the world a bit more. And I think that Chihiro was a little annoying throughout, and you know, she had a character growth and, you know, changed and got better, but it was definitely very very annoying early on, which is, I think, intentional, but I didn't quite enjoy that.
Yeah, I wish there was like, I think this goes into like, I wish there was like one more scene where like, I wish there was like maybe a scene where she's dealing with a spirit and you could see her like, oh, I already know how to deal with spirits now. And so she already kind of knows the etiquette. The
Pokemon that we chose for Kiki's, we chose Hatterene, which is the second evolution of the Hatterene, right? Hatterene line. Because Kiki, you know, budding witch, Hatterene is also very new witch, learning and growing and stuff like that. We didn't want to do the first evolution because that felt too babyish.
Yeah.
But Hatterene felt like a good middle ground for Kiki, who's in this middle ground.
Yeah.
And then we had for Spirit Away, there's a lot of different good options. I ended up choosing Sinistra. Just visually, it looks like it's in a bath, and so that was also fun. But there's also more reasons for that.
Isn't its signature ability called Hospitality?
Oh yes, I forget what it is. It's something with an ally, and it's in double battles because it was introduced in the Indigo Disc. Not Indigo Disc. Yeah, Indigo Disc DLC, and so it does something. It heals your ally. Heals an ally or something like that. Because it looks like a spirit. It is a spirit. It's a ghost grass.
Ghost grass.
And it's a spirit in its little teacup, short and stout. And
when a Pokemon with Hospitality enters the battle, it restores HP for an ally by 25%.
Oh yeah. See, you know, spirits, bathhouse. It's pretty much.
Well, the spirits, bathhouse, but like, yeah, there's obviously the fact that it's a very Japanese tale and tea ceremonies.
Yeah.
And also like, yeah, tea ceremonies. There's a lot of rules to it, and Chihiro has to learn a lot of rules very quickly.
In the book, we have two different pictures. Stickers of Sinistra, because one is showing off its butt, which has the marker that it's a masterpiece form. There we go. And so I just chose both of them because the one without the stamp is unremarkable form, and I feel like that's rude. I feel like that's very rude. And the other one was masterpiece.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's too much for this one. So let me do both. So it's non-committal.
We'll say this because I feel like we're shitting on Spirited Away.
Yes, it's good. It's just good movie.
It's very good. It's very much like, this is good for kids.
Yes.
And like every Studio Ghibli movie is just like stunning to look at.
Yes.
Like I know that whenever I go to a Studio Ghibli movie, I'm not gonna have a bad time. I'm not gonna feel like I wasted my money.
Yes.
Because there's gonna be at least a decent story, but the visuals are gonna be so good.
Yes. So those were all the 7 movies that we watched in January. And for every month, I will also do a quick little ranking of the movies that we watched to show also a comparison of my tastes versus his tastes. For my ranking, I had Hamnet as my top movie, and then in A tier, Together, Kiki's, and Spirited Away in that order. B tier, Strange Harvest, and then Dr. Caligari, and then C tier, Moulin Rouge, and then you had. I wrote it down, so I don't know if you remembered it.
Okay, I did forget it.
It's okay.
So I had for my S tier Together because it was so good. I want to say I never want to watch this movie again because it was so good at being a horror movie. But also, like, yeah, I'd be done watching it again because there's so many little details that I probably missed. I had Hamnet as my A tier, and also Kiki's. Hamnet was slightly better than Kiki's. Kiki's very good. The more that I think about Kiki, the more I'm like, wow, this movie is kind of deep, but.
I will say, like, Hamnet made me cry. Kiki's almost made me cry the most times.
Yeah.
Hamnet made me cry at the very end. But Kiki's made me cry at least almost. I didn't cry at Kiki's. I almost cried at Kiki's 3 times.
I did not cry at Hamnet. Fuck them kids. take that out. Love kids. I had my B tier was Moulin Rouge and then Spirited Away. Moulin Rouge is just a fun time, man. If you can ignore the Indian racism of it all, you're good. Next, I had Spirited Away. I don't hate it. It's just I wish there was a little bit more, man. And then my last one was Strange Harvest. God, felt like I wasted my time a little bit. And then Caligari. I wanted to put Caligari higher because it was so influential, but at the same time, like if I were to line it up against all these movies, let's be for real.
Isolated
by itself.
Isolated by itself amongst the others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get that. And thank you very much for coming on this journey with us, with me and with Matthew. My letterbox is in the description below. If you want to follow me, I have slightly more in-depth reviews and how I rated the movies in there as well. Do you have any last words to say before we sign off?
I do stream on Twitch.
Yes.
My username is Rebel Druid. I'm trying to figure out how to stream on YouTube as well, but it is very hard to figure that out. I'll
have the link in the description below as well.
I mostly do a lot of turn-based JRPGs because I think I'm good at strategy. But going back to movies, definitely do not be afraid to give a movie a try. Get Tubi.
Tubi is so great. You don't have to get Tubi because it's free.
Yeah, well, I mean, you still have to download it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but definitely use Tubi. Hey, if you have some downtime, it's a good way to watch a movie. Try something else that's new. I can understand the hardships of going to a theater if you don't know about the movie.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with friends. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to be passionate, and I'll see you later.